Hey, what's up guys, Orange Pylon here, and welcome to another broadcast. Today's stream is going to feature the game Genshin Impact. So this is a free game to download on PlayStation 4, PC, if you're running Windows, and mobile devices. This character that I'm using right here, not to spoil anything, is one of the main characters of the story that you start off with. Then you have this girl, her name is Amber, and her element is fire. This is Kenya. He is more involved in the village that we're in called Modston, I think it's called. And he is, his element is, it's kind of like ice. And this is Lisa. She's a librarian here in Modston, and she is, her element is electricity. If you're into sort of comics and anime, this is a great game. It does have a nice, how do you say, a nice story to it. And there are things that you can pick up along the way to read if you're into, you know, an in-depth storyline sort of thing. So I haven't figured out too much about the game, but I am able to sort of navigate through the quests. And you can see here at the top on the left menu here, it says required adventure rank 10. So you have to, you know, do these side quests to get your adventure rank up so you can do other quests. It seems like the only one I can do is glide with the wind. And so we're just going to select that by pressing X here on the PlayStation 4. And there you can see an icon sort of floating on the left side of the screen there. It says talk to Amber. So we got to find her. So there are neat things like climbing here. You can see a lot of people like that sort of thing, kind of like Spider-Man. If you press the R1 bumper, you can dash, and if you press and hold it, you could sprint. But doing so fatigues a bar there on the right of the character. You can see it's flashing red, and you have to wait for that to charge up. This game comes in a variety of languages, all the way from the native language the game was designed in to English, German, and a bunch of others. I've turned the audio, the dialogue down. The voiceover is really good. It's like watching an anime show. But I turn it down so I can look at the subtitles. So you're not going to hear anything from them. But there are subtitles if you do play the game. And they are voiceovered. So she's just talking about a wind glider that she gave me. And a wind glider is like as it says, a wind glider. When you jump from a height, you can press and hold X, and a glider comes out, and you sort of cruise along the sky until you press circle or land. The physics of it, I think, could be improved because you do glide, you know, slowly. When you release, you drop straight down instead of sort of falling forward. So what they're talking about here is the glider. And it looks like that there's a license required. No one stopped me ever from gliding, like any of the guards in the city. Like perhaps in Skyrim, when you use his special ability, the guards come up to you. So no one's actually done that. So you haven't seen in this video or in the stream, but previously, one of the main adventure quests, I had a dragon called the Stormtrooper. I think not Stormtrooper, but Storm something. Not Stormtrooper. That's from Star Wars. Storm something came to the city and it's wreaking havoc. And I got up and I didn't defeat it, but because you're not supposed to in the actual mission, but you scare it off sort of flying and aiming at it. Just a little bit, I guess, of the story that I've so far, you know, seen in this game is this dragon used to guard the city. There's like something like 3 temples around the city in which the dragon sort of protects. And some mishap happened between Modset, the village that we're in, and the dragon, and now the dragon's all angry. So she gave me a book. I'm supposed to look over it, and then come back to her to do my test, I guess.
When the first wisp of wind brushed across the land, birds that yearned for the sky had wings, but no way to fly. They asked the animal god, "How can we reach the heavens?" To which the animal god replied, You have yet to find that which is most important. As the god spoke, the wind thrust the seeds of a dandelion high into the sky. The birds thrust out their wings, but the breeze was all too mild, leaving them to stumble across the earth. So they went to the gorge, where the wind showed off its wild and incomparable strength. They threw themselves off the cliff and flapped their wings amongst the howling winds until they were able to fly freely in the sky. To the animal god they went to gleefully say, "We understand now. All we needed was a stronger wind to fly." In reply, the animal god said, "What you lacked was not wind, but courage. It is courage that has allowed you to become the first flying birds of this world."
So you see what I mean? There's some dialogue that is presented to you in the game, and it's actually, voice-overed really well. All right, so back in the menu here, you can go over, and I think this one here is an actual sort of reading. And what was this one about? Oh, this was about how the dragon used to protect the village and now is no longer friends. Okay, so I'll give you some insight into the glider. Here it is. That's what I mean. You kind of glide through this city. But now, supposedly, I guess you need a license. So we'll go get that license and then sort of continue on our way. Oh, I also forgot to mention about sort of the movement of this game. You can see that I'm sort of moving in a still space and the camera is not falling. So this is a menu option that I deselected. Natively, when you move, the camera follows you like this. But I unselected it, so it's more sort of to my style of gaming, where I move and I control the camera. And the speed of the camera can be adjusted. There are these teleportation how do you call them? Statues that you can go to and you can teleport across. I think that's one in there in the distance. If I could just switch over to Amber. She has this sort of FPS feel there, pointing exactly at it. One of those teleportation, you could teleport around the map. Here it is. So there's one of the teleportations. Is that it? Is that a teleportation? Yep. Teleport waypoint. And you can go to other waypoints. Something also I want to say unique to this game is cooking. So the various items that you collect around the land can come together to accumulate these dishes here. You can see on the right there of the sort of recipe, it shows you the ingredients, and I can make this steak and it tells you what it does. This one here revives a character, and all I need is one piece of steak, and you get that from defeating like boars and some other animals. I've gotten them from boars, but if I do cook it, it takes you to this menu here and click cook, and it's just a timing thing, and there it is. You tame it, and when one of your characters falls, you can revive them with that piece of meat. Now you'll see through combat, hopefully I'll be able to demonstrate that using the different characters in combination with their skills will allow for different effects. So for an example, you can use the librarian, and you can use who else can you use? I think it's Amber, and you can use the effects together to do like a sort of an overcharge ability, which does extra damage. So if you're into the statistics, there's a whole menu for that. It tells you the type of damage it does, the base level, the critical hits. There, I defeated those slimes just by pressing circle, automatic sort of attacking here. But she also does have this special ability that you can aim it, and depending on where you target on your enemy, the effect is increased. So a headshot counts as a headshot. It won't insta kill them, but it does a little bit more damage, and sometimes stuns different creatures like bosses. Oh, there's the boar I was talking about earlier. So I'll put an arrow to him. Should be a one hit. And hopefully he drops a steak. There you go, raw meat. It's not steak, it's just raw meat. And you can collect these and go and make those steaks and revive your characters if you die in battle. You know, there's like 3 sort of buttons to press that I know of. And that's like your circle on PlayStation 4, the R the R2 button, which does sort of like a medium mid-range attack, according to the element that the character holds. And then triangle, which is sort of like his ultimate. If you're sort of into mobile, their ultimate, that's their thing. And it's also worth noting that these buttons, if tapped or held, do different effects and have different cooldowns dependent on which of those functions you use. Okay, so with this here, you see it's sort of sparkling. That's an item that I can interact with. Well, not interact with, but do something to. It's an ore. And you just do a normal attack on it and defeat it. And ores help build a different type of weapons. And it's not only ores that you need, but other sort of ingredients to the recipe to help build those items. But it's good to collect them. I do think there is music and sort of like an ambient music to the game, but I turned it all down just to avoid any sort of copyright music. So holding R1 allows me to climb, or just going up to the object I think makes me climb. But if I press X, I can expedite the climb by jumping up. But it does burn stamina, and if you burn too much of your stamina while climbing, you drop. But luckily, unlike in water where you drown when the stamina depletes, you can actually glide. Oop, there's someone that we can interact with. Manly Jack. Let's see what's his deal. Some of these characters, around the village, I think they're called NPCs. They do have treasures, so it's worth chatting to them just for their small benefits early in the game. So I think this sort of NPC is sort of like a warning that up ahead there will be some type of enemy. And that might be it there. So I like to start with Amber, sort of set my trap, and then lure my enemies here. I think I set the trap a bit too far away from them. Yeah, see, it didn't work there. I'm really not doing this game justice, but I'm trying my best here. Here's something called Adventurer's Experience, and it's always good to grab that. Adventure Experience increases the character level. So here we go into the start menu here. You can see every character has a level. There on the right, you can see my character for this. My level for this character is 16, and if I just use the bumper, you can see the different levels of each character. Alright, but here's Amber. Let's continue with the quest. Okay, so there are waypoints I gotta fly to, and a duration, and hopefully I can complete this in one go for the sake of this stream. So I think that drum beat that you just heard, hopefully, is the sound of enemies being alerted around my ear, but I don't see anything. So I think we're going back into Modstead. Oh, there she is. Okay, we got a minute to complete this. The only issue is I don't know where the rings are.
Windborn Traveler, you are required to land at once by the order of the Knights of Favonius.
Oh, that's the first time I've heard of that. So I guess we're after this guy that stole an artifact, who's a master wind glider. Also, another note too to add: with different characters come different special abilities, of course, but they have unique abilities to sort of crafting and obtaining different items. So, for example, Some of the characters in this game have the passive ability to cook different meals and get sort of different stats based on what they cook. That's so that's useful to know. So I did take quite a bit, well, not too much, but some damage there. You can see my health at the bottom of my character. So I am going to eat some food. That's the wrong menu. You gotta go to your inventory, and there you can eat food. So this one, apples restore health. And I don't need too much food here. Sometimes if you give your character too much food, they get full and you can't heal them anymore. So recommended party level is 15. I don't think I'm anywhere near that. I could start it. So these things here, these green things, if I could try to stay alive, are sort of like checkpoints that you spawn. But I don't think I did what I was supposed to do. I think that there's, you gotta get up there possibly. I'm not sure. Okay, we'll try to get on this wind current. Let's see. Oh, so I could drop mini sort of bombs on them. Nice. Oh, that one missed. When I was trying to use my vision. Right, well, I'm going to use Amber's special ability here. So you'll see triangle. And it does sort of like an AoE attack there. Not too long. But I should have comboed it with something else. See if I can just get both these guys in my wind current here.
You're open. Freeze.
Alright, so we passed the gliding assignment. We get rewarded with a chest. But I think on that note, and finishing that quest, the gliding quest there, I'm going to end the stream. I might continue to play just because I have to try to get to level 16 to get into the multiplayer world where things get a little bit spicier. But until then, hope you enjoyed this sort of, sort of insight walkthrough demonstration of what Genshin Impact is all about. But yeah, if you did enjoy this, I might turn this into a video a little bit later, perhaps sort of like an intro into the game to get people sort of playing this, because it is fun and it is free on PS4, mobile, and PC. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Orange Pylon out.